If you're like me and you set some big reading goals for 2019, why not check out today's sponsor, Audible.com, for a free 30-day trial and to get your first audiobook for free. One of my favorite audiobooks from 2018 was Born a Crime by Trevor Noah. It's a really fascinating story about his upbringing in South Africa under apartheid. And as an extra bonus, he narrates it himself. So make sure you visit popcornfinance.com/audible to help you kickstart your reading for 2019. I don't know. Do you two get, well, maybe not because there's two of you. I always get super nervous for like no reason the moment I'm about to start talking for the actual episode. I don't know why.
We clap together and then it's just like we know.
Mm-hmm. Once the clap happens,
the clap goes,
clears the air.
just like a one single clap?
Yep. 3, 2, 1, and we go.
I feel better already. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hey, this is Chris. Hope you're doing well, and welcome to Popcorn Finance, where we discuss finance in about the time it takes to make a bag of popcorn. Happy to have you back for another episode, and today I'm very excited because whenever I do an episode where I get to learn something, I'm like ready to go. So today I'm joined by the host of the Frugal Friends podcast, Jen and Jill. How are you two doing?
Hey.
So good.
Yeah, doing well. I like popcorn and I also like talking about finances. So I think I found myself the right place to be.
I know. I better be careful. She might leave me for you, Chris.
I mean, you guys have a great podcast. I don't want to mess that chemistry up, but you love finance and popcorn. It's kind of hard. It's kind of hard not to welcome you.
We can all be friends. We can all be some frugal friends.
Yeah.
Yes.
And just so everyone can make sure to identify you. So Jill.
Yes.
Which one is you? That's Jill.
Right,
and then Jen.
I'm Jen over here.
There we go. I want to make sure everyone knows who you are because you have an amazing podcast. I love it. It's actually one of the shows I make sure I listen to every Friday on my way to work. The Frugal Friends podcast. It feels like I'm just sitting down next to you two having a conversation, learning to be frugal and getting tips. It's great. So I'm really excited to have you on.
Yeah, that's what we're going for.
You do an excellent job. And that's why I want to have you two come on to help me be a little more frugal because I've never bought anything on Craigslist.
What?
Not once.
And oh my goodness.
It feels like something I should have experienced, but I'm very skeptical of people. I think someone's gonna try to rob me, so I haven't done it yet. I've like stalked a little bit on Craigslist, but I've never actually bought anything because I don't know what I'm doing. It feels like I should know something. Like I should be a little more prepared before I actually break down and buy something.
You're Craigslist curious.
I am.
Jen
I'm
with
not
the
ready to
alliteration.
commit. I'm interested, but I have not partaken. So I wanted to talk to you two as the Frugal Friends. You've talked about Craigslist before on your show, and so I want to know if you can give me and the listeners some of your favorite tips on buying things from Craigslist. Like, what do you do? I have no idea. So I'll let you two take it away.
You want to do the first?
Jill, take
okay,
it
here we go.
All right. This is us. This is how we do it.
Yeah. So I think the biggest fear for people in purchasing on Craigslist is safety. You're concerned about that worst case scenario. Someone tries to rob you or sells you a piece of trash and you didn't realize that it was a piece of trash. I don't know. But one of the things that we do, so we've actually purchased large things on Craigslist. I mean, we've purchased a lot of things, but vehicles, our cars, almost primarily off of Craigslist. So one of our biggest tips is to look at the background of the photo, and that can give you a clue as to the type of neighborhood that you're purchasing from, maybe the way that it was taken care of. So like, obviously, if you've got a trash pile behind the car, maybe that car wasn't well taken care of. But if you've got a well manicured lawn in the background, then yeah, maybe give that a try. See what that car might be looking like.
Yeah. I mean, also meeting in a public place is, if you're new to Craigslist, definitely a safe bet. But I have done a ton of transactions at people's houses, and they've been totally fine, totally legit. So yeah, definitely take a look at the pictures and also the interaction that you have with the seller and just listen to your gut on it.
Do you recommend like having conversations with them before you go to meet to do the purchase?
Yes, definitely. That would be another one, is to call them. So this is where it's maybe a bit different from a Let Go or a Facebook Marketplace transaction. A lot of that is online, but I would say with Craigslist, and then especially with purchases that are larger, to have phone conversations with the person. Then you can kind of get a feel for what they're about. And even if the product is what you want it to be, you can ask all those questions before you drive. Who knows how far, half an hour, maybe it's closer. But rather than, getting all those answers once you're there, call first and have a couple of conversations with them.
No, I love that. That's a great point, because that's my concern. Is like, what if this is not the person I think it is? Or what if they're just setting this up to just, like I said, rob me? So I think those are some great starter tips as far as like, how to approach it before you get there. I followed your tips. I've looked at the pictures. It looks like a legit place. Yep. And then I've talked to them, had a couple conversations on the phone, set something up. So what's your next step after you've gotten that far?
Next, I would start to negotiate. So everything is negotiable on Craigslist, no matter how good of a deal you think it is. I would usually think about the lowest price you would go, and don't be nervous to get around there. You're not going to insult anybody. Obviously, don't lowball them. Like, there are some people on Craigslist that are just go on there and say, like, I'll give you $1 for this laptop. And you don't want to be one of those people. But like, be reasonable and don't be afraid to ask for what you want at the price you want it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, agreed.
Do you have like a rule of thumb that you use when negotiating a price? Like, is there a way to tell, like, if you are accidentally insulting somebody by offering too low of a price?
I would say if you're cutting it in half, that's nearing lowballing them. I would say try to offer 25 to 30% less than what they've put it up for. And that's the name of the game. People are marking it up so that they actually get what they want for it. Like, we just put up a car for $5,000. We wanted $4,500.
That's a great point. I think looking at it from the perspective of a seller. So like, if you've ever sold something online before, I mean, I used to sell a lot of things on eBay, and yeah, you always mark it up because someone's going to come and offer you less than what you've put on what you've listed as the price. So I think it's great to kind of be in that mindset of they're probably willing to go down on the price because they've probably marked it up knowing you're going to come in there and do that to them.
I would also say, so if you're pretty confident that you're going to purchase that thing, if we're talking, what's the next step, that you can take the money with you, but I would say hide it somewhere within your car, because there are those stories, certainly, of people getting held up, but that's where the neutral location comes in. Most police stations are safe places to meet. Like, they'll even have signs up, like, do your Craigslist transactions here. You can even go straight to a police station or some parking lot, but if you're very fearful, definitely do a police station. But then hide the money someplace. Like, don't have it in your back pocket. Look over the thing that you want to purchase first, then bring the money out.
Yeah. And I'll also do, if it's a large transaction, I will get a money order for it. And I might get multiple money orders if I haven't negotiated fully via email or phone. So that way, if I get the price that I want, then I just give them the one. If I can't, then I'll give them more. But that also allows you to have the receipt. So if you do get those stolen, you kind of have some recourse.
It's like a super pro tip there. So you're prepared. You have like different scenarios. You're like ready to go.
Yeah. I bought a laptop on Craigslist. It was my last laptop that lasted me for 5 years. And I did that. It was $900 or it was $800, I think. And I got a money order for $700 and one for $100, just in case I can get him to go down. And I was not able to get him to go down anymore, so I ended up giving him both.
So you kind of like stack them up. You have a few there, so you can get multiple money orders to get to the total.
That's great. That keeps you from counting money in public too. Like, if you are the one who is selling and someone is giving you the money, it's never a comfortable thing to be counting your money out in public. You just don't want to do that. So to have a money order is a great thing to do for that reason also.
Yeah, I was going to ask you next too. So the next thing I want to know about is like the exchange, because that's where I'm like, that's where they're going to rob me. It's when I'm handing them the money. So what is your protocol? Because you can see I'm super skeptical, so I'm trying to get rid of that. So what is your recommendation for the exchange?
If you're selling a large thing or buying a large thing like a vehicle, to do that exchange exchange at the taxes and tags place. So you're in a public spot, but like with some relative safety, and there's other witnesses around. So that is usually where our exchange will happen, of the keys, the money, the title, the money, that kind of a thing. Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't bring my wallet out ever. I don't show my wallet during a Craigslist transaction. I keep it in the car, hidden, and that money is separate from my other valuables.
Okay, I like that. Yeah, because I'm thinking, in my mind, I probably would, by mistake, would be, okay, it's time to pay. Let me pull out my wallet and like directly in front of this person.
And then
So
you're
it's
rifling
smart.
through the hundreds, trying to find your smaller bills.
Right after you've negotiated them to go down like $5 because you're like, I just don't have the money.
Exactly. You're like, well, let me pull into my small stockpile of cash here to give you this $10
I
bill.
would say too, to take a friend. So this is the safety thing, but it's also, so that you can have another set of eyes to say, yeah, this is happening right now, or no, back off, like abort, get out of here. But I've never had that. And you can get the vibe from people pretty quickly, even over the phone. But then once you're there, you can back out at any moment. And don't give them the money. Don't take the money, whatever the case is.
Don't be nervous to say no. Even if you drove out somewhere, you're all the way there.
Mm-hmm.
Don't feel like you are obligated at any time to go through with the purchase if you don't feel comfortable with it.
I didn't even think about that. Because you do feel like almost pressured in. Like, well, I had them come all the way out here. I've driven all the way out here. Even if I'm not happy, I guess I need to do it. But I guess you don't have to, right? It's your money. You can keep it if you want to.
Nope.
Oh, I've walked away from plenty of Craigslist possible transactions, not necessarily for safety reasons, but maybe it didn't look like how it did in the pictures. And I'm just like, no, not what I was looking for. They're bummed. They wish that they would have sold it to me, but you misrepresented your item. So,
well, thank you. I feel a lot better about Craigslist now. So,
okay.
I hope you buy something on Craigslist, Chris. I hope we helped you with that.
You could start small. You don't have to go buy a vehicle. Just, go buy a chair or something.
Yeah, chairs are all over Craigslist.
That's exactly why I was looking into this, because I need a new office chair, because my office chair constantly goes down as I'm sitting at the desk. So I'm like, I start at one height, and by the time an hour passes by, I'm like on the floor. So I need another chair.
Then you could do a follow-up and tell us how it went.
Oh, there we go. So whether it went well or I got robbed, I can share that with both of you.
Exactly. Take Mace.
Please.
Thank you. That's your final tip. Take Mace.
Yes. Last tip.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And I feel a little bit more confident to step out there and Craigslist it up. Before we go, I would love for you to let everyone know where they can find you, what you have going on, because I think it's definitely worthwhile keeping in contact with you too.
Yeah. Well, we are at frugalfriendspodcast.com and Frugal Friends Podcast wherever you listen to podcasts.
Yeah. And right now we've got a Frugal Friends book club happening. So you can jump in on that if you like to read for your frugal activity, and join us on our Frugal Friends community Facebook group. We have a lot going on there. And Chris, it's great to see you in that group too. You've had quite a lot of involvement. So it's great. We love friends.
I love being in it. I can't resist a good gift. So
yes, we do so many gifts. So giffy.
And you too, the book club, I love what you're doing. You actually had Kate Flanders on your show as well. She was the first book in your book club, The Year of Less. So it's definitely worthwhile joining the group, listening to the podcast. One of my favorite shows. So I really appreciate you two joining me here.
Thanks. It's been fun.
Oh, our pleasure.
Well, you two have a amazing rest of your day, frugaling it up. And I'll let you know how the Craigslist exchange goes.
Perfect. Looking forward to it.
Yes.
All right, you two take care.
See ya.
Bye.
Your boy keep it poppin' like Mary Poppins.